Okay, the next piece that is one of our big six is vocabulary. It is not really learned by just picking it up. That's a bit of a sort of misunderstanding. We can't assume that kids will just pick it up because when we look at our demographics in our classroom, our high priority kids are those who are bilingual or multilingual learners, kids who have had limited language exposure for whatever reason, and then students who are at risk. So we've got a big, huge chunk of the demographic in our classrooms that are high priority. We cannot assume that they're going to learn just by reading a text a few times or seeing it on a page a few times. So thinking about those books I've included there are ways that you can think about how do we introduce basic vocabulary, high function, and subject related vocabulary. One of the ways that I do this is by literally thinking of this word and thinking, can I address the meaning, the phonology, and the orthography? Let's look at the word contraction. So I'm coming to a lesson. I'm about to teach my students about contractions in English, where I'm going to take is and not, and I'm going to build a contraction isn't. Rather than me just kind of saying, oh yeah, so these are contractions, this is what they do, you need an apostrophe, blah, 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 and kind of giving this quick little mini lesson, what about if I literally look at the word contraction? Okay, so I'm going to look at it. So I'm going to spell it on the board. So we're looking at the written symbols. Then I'm going to say, let's practice the how many syllables. So I'm bringing in some morphology or some phonology. So I'm going to say, let's count the syllables in contraction. Contraction, 3 syllables in that word. Those syllables also happen to map in direct correlation to the 3 morphemes in the word contraction. C-O-N, is a prefix that means to join together. TRACT is a root, which means to pull. ION is a suffix, which means the result of. So the literal definition of the word contraction means the result of pulling and joining something together. That's exactly what a contraction is, not, isn't. That's literally what is happening with that. So now I can look at the orthography, the phonology, the meaning, the morphology, and really understand what is happening with contractions. So morphology is key. Those prefixes, suffixes, the bases, the roots, understanding how to spell them, what their meaning, how to use them in a sentence. So I created 2 different resources